India's most wanted terrorist Arshdeep Dalla, who is going to be produced before the court today. Dalla, the linchpin of Punjab's terror gangster network, is a native of Dalla village in Moga district. He is going to appear through the video conference today. He has lived in Canada for several years, and according to multiple media reports, he is also known as the associate of Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nichar, who was involved with the Khalistani movement, which calls for an independent Sikh state. On 28th of October, Arshdeep was arrested by Canadian police in the firing case in Ontario. The Canadian police has also arrested Gurgant Singh. Both were presented in the Milton Court of Canada on 28th of October, after which the next hearing date is today. According to the press note of the Canadian police, the search for the third person in the firing case is currently underway. All right, viewers, the exclusive details that in fact we are fetching right now are the Canadian case filed against Dalla, which has been confirmed. Dalla arrested for the gang war. It is confirmed as per our sources. Dalla possesses dangerous weapons. 11 charges are framed against him. Firearms found at Khalistani's home. All right, viewers, as you can see, in fact, on your screens in just a bit, the chart sheet that has been produced highlights the various details, where one of the accused is Arshdeep Gill, which you can see here at the first sentence, and Gurjant Singh is the second accused, while the charges are of discharging firearm with intent. As per the contents of the chart sheet, it is mentioned that on 28th of October, the Canadian police has received the call from the hospital regarding the male attending at the hospital with a gunshot wound. And the police in fact further mentioned here that the officers observed the license plate which was parked out of the hospital with what appeared to be the bullet holes on the driver's side of the vehicle. And it is in fact also mentioned very categorically that upon the Gulf police attendance at the hospital, the two males were identified as the two who have been put in charge as accused here, Arshdeep Gill and Gurjant Singh. Gill had a non-life threatening gunshot wound to his right bicep, which was treated by the hospital staff. And if we go further, in fact, what we are given to understand furthermore is that there are observations that have been made in the chart sheet here, which actually say that the officers have observed that the vehicle was in the front window of the vehicle. Upon closer inspection, the officers revealed while driving on the line north of the highway, as a result, the police observations of bullet casings within this vehicle were that both Gill and Singh were arrested for the offence of discharging a firearm with intent. So the entire charge remains to be the discharging of firearm with an intent. Both were cautioned, given rights to counsel, and transported to central lockup in Oakville police station. Accused clothing and phones were seized by the police. Both the accused were held in custody on pending a bail hearing. All right, viewers, as you can see, in fact, the contents of the chart sheet categorically mentioned that there are several charges that have been made in the chart sheet. The synopsis is what you can see on your screen. One of them is also the unauthorized possession of a firearm, which is a rifle, and the other one is the tampering with the serial number. All right, viewers, to share more details, in fact, on this news break that we are confirming live is my colleague Javed Hussain and Kulveer Diwan, who is joining me live from Punjab. All right, let me first go across to Javed. Javed, now Arshdeep Dalla is going to be presented before the court today with, of course, various charges ranging from the discharging of a firearm with an intent, tampering with evidence, and also trying to create instability and disturb the law and order. These are very serious charges. The Canadian police has in fact laid out in the chart sheet that categorically mentioned both the accused of having committed such heinous crimes. What exactly is the latest that you are picking up in this regard?
और देखिए बुधवार की रात को जो इंडियन समय के अनुसार 9:30 और 10 के बीच में हर्षदीप डाला और उसके साथी गुरजन सिंह और जबकि एक तीसरा साथी इसका फरार चल रहा है, जो कि कैनेडियन पुलिस ने अपने इन्वेस्टिगेशन में दिया है। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि एंटोरियो कोर्ट में आज एक बार फिर एक दिन की जो जेशी बढ़ी थी। आज भारत समय के अनुसार 9:30 और 10 के बीच में वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए हर्षदीप डाला और गुरजन सिंह को प्रोड्यूस किया जाएगा। कल हालांकि जो एक लैंग्वेज की वजह से जो एक ट्रांसलेटर कल कोर्ट में मौजूद नहीं था जो कोर्ट के प्रोसीडिंग के वक्त, तो आज कोर्ट कैनेडियन कोर्ट जो एंटोरियो कोर्ट है उन्होंने कहा है कि एक पंजाबी लैंग्वेज के ट्रांसलेटर को आज अपॉइंट किया जाएगा कोर्ट के हेयरिंग के वक्त, जहां पर इन दोनों के स्टेटमेंट और कोर्ट में दिए गए जो इनसे पूछताछ जो बयान कोर्ट में इनसे जो कैनेडियन पुलिस की तरफ से डिफेंस की तरफ से किया जाएगा उसके उसको समझने और उसको बताने के लिए एक पंजाबी ट्रांसलेटर को आज अपॉइंट किया जा रहा है। आज एक दिन की जेसी खत्म हो रही है और इनसे पूछताछ इनसे कोर्ट में इनको प्रोड्यूस किया जाएगा वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए। हर्षदीप डाला इंडिया का मोस्ट वांटेड आतंकी है और गैंगस्टर्स है, जो कि केटीएफ को इस वक्त हैंडल कर रहा है हरदीप सिंह निज्जर की हत्या के बाद। हरदीप सिंह निज्जर वो प्रतिबंधित संगठन केटीएफ का वो आतंकी है जो इंडिया में अपने हैंडलर्स और हर्षदीप डाला के साथ मिलकर टेरर मॉड्यूल, कॉन्स्पिरेसी, एक्सटॉर्शन, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किलिंग और आर्म्स सप्लाई जैसे और साथ साथ ही ड्रग्स को पूरे सिंडिकेट को ऑपरेट करने का जो इलीगल पूरे काम को ऑपरेट कर रहा था। लेकिन हरदीप सिंह निज्जर की हत्या के बाद अर्शदीप डाला जो वो अब इस पूरे केटीएफ को हैंडल कर रहा है। गुरजन सिंह इसका एसोसिएट है और 27-28 अक्टूबर की देर रात जब कनाडा के मिल्टन शहर में एक शूट आउट हुआ था, उस शूट आउट में अर्शदीप डाला इंजर्ड हुआ था। उसके बाद इन्हें मिल्टन के ही एक हॉस्पिटल में वहां पर गुलेफ हॉस्पिटल में इन्हें जब वहां पे लाया गया था, तो उसके बाद कैनेडियन पुलिस इस पूरे मामले की जांच में जुट गई थी। मैं आपको बता दूं कि इसमें लगातार 2 केसेस है, जिसमें से हर्षदीप डाला पे जो मैं आपको बता दूं 2 केसेस है, जिसमें 370401 एंड 373402 ये केस का वो लास्ट सीरीज है जो हर्षदीप डाला पर है। और दूसरा जो केस सीरीज है गुरजन सिंह पे 370402 373401 ये 2 केसेस है, जिसमें एक बेल की हेयरिंग और दूसरा जो कस्टडी में इस वक्त हरदीप डाला और गुरजन सिंह है, इनको जो पेश किया गया था कल और एक दिन की जुडिशियल कस्टडी बढ़ी है। हर्षदीप डाला की इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का वो मोस्ट वांटेड है और साल 2023 में होम मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से इसको आतंकी और गैंगस्टर्स घोषित किया गया। वहीं दूसरी तरफ देश की केंद्रीय जांच एजेंसी एनआईए टेरर मॉड्यूल्स और गैंगस्टर्स एक्ट में भी मामले में जो हर्षदीप डाला के खिलाफ
All right,
चार्जशीट
Javed, I'll
सबमिट कर
request you
चुकी
to
है।
kindly stay on with us on the broadcast while I also have my other colleague Kulveer Diwan joining me from Punjab. Kulveer, Arshdeep Singh faces 58 narco terror cases, including 12 under the UAPA, stringent UAPA in Punjab itself. And there are approximately 58 that we are given to understand. But when we talk about his belongingness in Punjab, he relatively is from Moga district in Punjab. And in fact, the Punjab police have also gathered many evidence, and there are revelations in this regard of how the terror network was being operated at the behest of his orders. In fact, what exactly is the latest that you are picking up as far as the details are concerned and how the entire narco terror was also being operated?
के पंजाब में भी अर्शदीप डल्ला का जो है वो नेटवर्क काफी स्ट्रांग था। हालांकि पुलिस पिछले काफी दिनों से अर्शदीप डल्ला के इस नेटवर्क को तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रही है। उसके जो साथी हैं या फिर उसके जो ठिकाने हैं वहां पर लगातार कहीं ना कहीं पुलिस जो है वो कार्रवाई कर रही है। लेकिन अर्शदीप डल्ला क्योंकि पंजाब में आतंकवाद का एक बड़ा नाम जो है वो बन चुका था और पंजाब के मोगा का ही रहने वाला है, जिसकी सबसे पहले जो एक छोटी लड़ाई जो है जहां से इसकी क्राइम में शुरुआत हुई, अपने दोस्तों के साथ एक झगड़े में शामिल हुआ था, जिसके बाद इस पे एक मामला दर्ज हुआ और उसके बाद अर्शदीप डल्ला ने पीछे मुड़कर नहीं देखा, क्योंकि मोगा के ही एक बड़े गैंगस्टर सुखा पम्मा का अर्शदीप डल्ला ने कत्ल किया था, जिसके बाद इसकी काफी दहशत जो है वो हो गई थी, जिसके बाद ये इन्वॉल्व होता गया हत्या फिरौती के मामलों में और आखिर हरदीप सिंह निज्जर का ये कहें कि बायां हाथ बन गया था, जो कि केटीएफ कोऑपरेट करते थे कनाडा से। और वहीं से कहीं ना कहीं अब अर्शदीप डल्ला भी कनाडा में बैठकर ही पंजाब में अपने जो हैंडलर्स हैं उनके जरिए एक खेल जो है वो क्राइम की दुनिया में वो खेल रहा था, जिसमें पंजाब पुलिस को भी, क्योंकि कई मामलों में उसकी तलाश है, लिहाजा पंजाब पुलिस भी तमाम वो एक बार फिर वो मामले और वो सबूत इकट्ठा करने में जुटी है, ताकि अर्शदीप डल्ला को भारत लाने की कोशिश जो है वो की जाए। और जानकारी ये मिल रही है कि पंजाब पुलिस ने भी केंद्रीय गृह विभाग को एक डोजियर सौंप दिया है अर्शदीप डल्ला से जुड़े मामलों को लेकर, ताकि कनाडा से उसके प्रत्यर्पण का एक कार्रवाई जो है वो शुरू की जाए। जी।
All right, Kulveer, thank you for sharing the latest. In fact, I also thank my other colleague Javed Hussain for giving us the details. Now it's time to also get more updates. In fact, joining me live on the broadcast is former DCP of Special Cell of Delhi, Ellen Rao. I appreciate you speaking to me at this point of time, sir, and thank you for joining me at this point. What exactly is your assessment, in fact, in this entire case where the 28-year-old, the linchpin of the Punjab's narco terror, who in fact has been involved in 58 narco terror cases, 12 of them only belonging in Punjab. Ironically, it was the Punjab Police Assistant Sub-Inspector, the ASI, who facilitated Arshdeep Singh's flight to Canada in 2018, and now we are here where he's going to be produced before the Canadian court by the police in the shooting case. What exactly is the understanding of how large the terror network is and how exactly this expands to other states as well?
Good morning, ma'am. To you and to all US. And Arshdeep Dalla is no doubt a very notorious criminal wanted by India also. And there is a tendency of these criminals and terrorists who were earlier declared very serious terrorists in Punjab at the time when the Punjab was burning during 80s decade. Most of them had run away from Punjab to either Canada, USA, or so many other, England, and so many other countries. But this Arshdeep Dalla, while escaping from India, he was already wanted in so many narco terrorist cases, as you have mentioned that he was involved in 58 cases. And out of these, 12 were in Punjab and so many other states also, including that. Now the process of extradition, that is bringing him from USA to India, that is, I think, a slightly long process. I think it will be, it is being processed by Home Ministry of Home Affairs of India through External Affairs Ministry, and then after coordination from CBI and Interpol, this will be definitely brought to India, because earlier also we were successful in bringing some terrorists who were confined themselves to other countries. So there is a treaty between India and USA definitely, and the process is no doubt a long process, but ultimately he will be brought to India and he will be tried in India. But the one more glitch is there that he is also involved in USA, that firing shootout. I think that what are the law in USA, that first they will decide that case, or I think so, because in one of my cases when I went to USA to bring some 3 terrorists who were wanted in some other terrorist attack case in Delhi and Rajasthan. At that time, that person was tried in USA, and after finishing that case in USA, that after that he was allowed to bring to India. So in that case also, I think that if this case of shootout in USA will be decided first, and I think that the procedure in USA is very fast while disposing of such cases. I hope that this will be disposed of very soon, and after that Arshdeep Dalla will be brought to India for facing trials in other cases which are registered against him and other his associates. Ma'am.
All right, Mr. Rao, in fact, thank you for giving us the understanding of this matter. In fact, joining me live on the broadcast is also Major General Sudhakar Ji. Sudhakar Ji, very much welcome on the broadcast. What we can understand after this breakthrough of the arrest of Arshdeep Dalla by the Canadian police is how can we look forward to the relations, and especially strained relations, of India and Canada. given at this point of time? How do you look forward to their changes, in fact, expecting any kind of dialogue between the two nations? Because Canada for a long time has been favoring and harboring these kind of extremist activities, especially now giving them a ground.
Yeah, Simran, good morning. I was wondering as to what question Simran will ask me when you have a very eminent personality like Mr. L.M. Rao. He himself has got hands-on experience. So good that you have blended geopolitics, geoeconomics, criminology, and two nations at loggerheads. India is not at loggerhead. It is Canada who's creating a mess for itself. Anyway, in order to respond to your question, Simran, we need to look at it from a holistic perspective, as to what all things have taken place in past 15, 20 days, which may bring about some kind of a change in the stance of perception or response matrix of Canada. I think Donald Trump having bounced back to power with landslide victory is a remarkable milestone. Perhaps after a long time, in maybe 30, 40 years or so, he's the only Republican candidate who has got the popular vote. I don't think anyone in the recent past who's had that kind of a remarkable achievement. So with his coming, there are very prominent signatures which are being given out with the kind of team he's building up gradually. The team selection, his national security advisor, the homeland security, the defense secretary, there are very prominent signatures. The signature, whether it will happen or not, I don't know. But there is definitely a prominent signature oriented towards Indo-Pacific, to contain, to compete, and finally to contest China. Need be, if push comes to shove, maybe conflict may not be a very far distant kind of an option. So the focus is China. And issues like Bangladesh, Pakistan, Canada, we all know what kind of relations Donald Trump has, or likes and dislikes towards the present leadership of Canada. So this is the backdrop I wanted to cover. Second is, one important thing has been actually vindicated. That important thing is, like Mr. LM brought out nicely, that India all through and through has been harping on one point: this is a gang warfare. Just don't waste time unnecessarily by pointing a finger at bureaucrats and pointing a finger at the political leadership. Please, if you do not identify the problem correctly, then the diagnosis of the problem will go wrong. If the diagnosis is wrong, then the medicine that you actually prescribe will also be wrong. There will be a side effect. And both the nations which have enjoyed the best of relationship, despite all kinds of negative response from Canada for past so many years, we are still, the trade is holding out. We have largest Indian diaspora, large number of Indian students studying there. Still there is, he's a man at the top of the helm of affairs. He's ruining the relationship and he's ruining the reputation of his own country. India will thrive through. Nothing will happen to India. So therefore, the one issue has been vindicated, that here is a man who is actually into the gang warfare. Incidentally, let me tell you, Simran, Mr. LM would be, he will bear me out. There is a proven involvement of ISI. This man, in fact, if you take your mind back, they had a couple of clashes with Bishnoi gang also, Lawrence Bishnoi. And also ISI is supporting him. Mr. Allen would be having all the details since he has been dealing with it. So with my limited knowledge, when I look back to my service period, I have come through many relevant issues wherein, although he is quite a youngster, he is not very old, 27, 28 years old, but he is deeply involved. He is on the payroll of ISI. ISI pays him money out of the narcotic trade that they carry out from the Golden Triangle, and it is supported by the Haqqani network. There is a deep penetration. This guy is connected to many other people. Al-Qaeda is involved in this. So we can actually sort him out nicely. So last but not the least, Simran, India should, in my opinion, with very limited understanding, I think the red corner notice is still holding out in today's 21st century. We should actually put him under the red corner notice. Through the CBI has to, I think, process the case with the Interpol. By doing so, at least if not permanently, some kind of a localizing, thereafter facilitating his arrest can be ensured. Otherwise, such people, fugitives, despite all informations, Canada is in a position to actually give a wishy-washy reply when we want to actually build up the pressure to extradite him. He must be brought back to India. There are 29 such criminals who have been brought back to India in 2023. 19 such people have already come in 2024. Numbers are going up. I'm sure we need to actually take help of USA in the changing political landscape. Donald Trump and his team will come very happy with regard to sorting out these kind of people, because America is also not safe. Like
Okay.
Mr. LM is saying, he has been involved in a couple of firing incidents in America, USA itself. He must be brought to book, must be brought back to India at the earliest. Only then there will be some sense, some rationale coming into the minds of Justin Trudeau. If at all he continues, my fear is that there may be some kind of a midterm election. This man is heading for total trouble. He may lose out the political leadership very soon because of the midterm poll, or some kind of trouble taking place around the corner. Back to you, Simran.
Major General Sudhakarji, in fact, a very comprehensive and detailed response to the understanding that we can understand about the India-Canada ties, and particularly how the fresh producing of Arsh Singh Dalla in Canada responds to. Now also let me bring in my co-panelist Ellen Rao sir as well. Sir, you know, he has talked about, as Major General Sudhakarji very well pointed out, that it is in fact for the Trudeau government to rectify and to identify the faults within. But when we talk about the organized crimes in India, specifically in Punjab, where there cross-border smuggling of weapons and narco substances, and then there are organized crimes in gangs that take place. There are various sort of activities that the security agencies have to monitor 24/7. But when we talk about such cases, Arshdeep Dalla back in 2016 was just a criminal in a murder case that happened when he was 19 years old. Now cut to 8 years now, he's a designated terrorist. His brother has flown to Canada. There is all sort of network that he's operating there, and not even this is only what we can understand by the reports that have been published. There could be much more than what we can assume. So how do you think that the organized crime network and the organized crime terror nexus can be cracked down, especially from this need which we talk about the security agencies?
Yes, Simran, a very detailed insight has been given by Major Sudhakarji on this issue, particularly on the relations between India and Canada. And once more, you are talking about the organized crime. That organized crime which is perpetrating in our Indian context. These criminals, which I already spoken about it, that these criminals who are deadly wanted by Indian police, they try to flee away on some fake passport or some other identity, and then they want to settle in these countries like USA, Canada, and America, UK, like that. So, but definitely we have a very good system in our India, the legal system. No doubt it's a delayed system, but definitely, as I told you, that he will be brought to India, and then all organized crimes against him will also be investigated and tried in India, and he cannot escape from this legal proceedings in India. But definitely that when these cases against him in abroad, they are sorted out, then only that he can be brought. And then I request that our government and the ministries of MHA and External Affairs Ministry, with tandem with Interpol, they will expedite it, because it all depends upon the process which being expedited or being slow. That all depends upon this step. But this most urgent case, such type of criminals should not be allowed to live outside India, and they are enjoying whatever facilities are being given to abroad to them. And the government, as Major Sudhakarji rightly said, that the government of Canada, definitely they are spoiling relations with India in context with these harboring these such type of criminals, or playing all these who are playing anti-Indian politics in their country. Definitely, because such type of criminals or terrorists, they are not good for their own countries also. They will ultimately one day they will also spoil their country's reputation, and these criminals will also create a very good network of terrorism and criminalization in their country also. So these bosses of the political bosses of these countries should also think about it, that they should not support all these things, and they should cooperate with India, and as soon as possible they should be these type of criminals should be extradited from their country, so that their people who are the civilized people and law-abiding citizens of their country, they should also live in peace, and they should not be a victim of their activities.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.